All right, so Anthony, welcome to the podcast. Just to kind of tee this up for people, we're going to unpack just your experience generating leads from an inbound lead generation approach using YouTube. And just for context, for the last couple of years, how much in production have you done simply by creating a YouTube channel?
I started it 2 years ago. The first year I was in there, granted, COVID had taken place and some other stuff, and there was a lot of movement to the Southeast, and I had a lot of momentum there. It was perfect timing. I did $15 million directly from YouTube that year. Last year, I had some personal stuff going on, and I actually took a break and still cleared $10 million last year, which is bizarre to me. If I would have doubled down and done it right, who knows but 15 and 10, and that's where I'm at now. And I think this year is going to be even bigger.
So 25 million in closed sales volume from YouTube over the last 2 years.
Yep.
Yeah, directly from YouTube from the last 2 years, and that's what we're going to talk about today because we were just talking off air. Our YouTube workshop is going to start in March, and we're going to do some cool things with the agents in our community. But how long have you been selling real estate? What market are you in? Just so the audience can kind of understand the landscape a little bit.
Yeah, I still feel like I'm a baby in the industry. I'm just now in my fourth year, and I'm in the Atlanta, Georgia market. So super strong market that works in my favor. But yeah, I'm still a baby in this and still learning it all. So it's been good.
Yeah, it's awesome. So let's get into it. So when it comes to, there's a lot of real estate agents that understand, well, maybe they don't understand the difference between social media and content marketing. And the great thing with YouTube is there's intent, right? The viewer is going to YouTube to specifically search something out. And the difference between that and social media is no intent. Like people go to Facebook to just scroll. They go to Instagram to scroll. They go to TikTok to scroll. And so the intention on YouTube is much deeper. So walk us through kind of your process, your mindset, your understanding of creating content. And specifically, let's start with what are the type of videos that you're making?
Well, like to back up a little bit, what really got me started on this journey is prior to real estate, I was in business consulting. I come from corporate. I got an engineering background, but my last few years before getting into real estate, I was working for a company that we were training salespeople on their sales processes. So we were coming in and rolling out CRMs. We were rolling out different process plans. Well, during that time, one of the things I learned was the importance of being in front of a customer at the very, very beginning of their sales process. And when somebody's researching anything, YouTube is now this big, I think I've had this conversation with realtors before, is the misunderstanding of what YouTube is.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a video platform, but it's a search engine.
I know it.
And when you treat it like a search engine, and understand that hey, I want to create content for what people are searching for. That's when the trigger went off. It's like, wait a second, if they're going to YouTube and they're searching, who knows where this can go? And I was kind of playing around with it, and I'd stumbled across some other guys' channels that had started that process, and the light bulb went off. It's like, wait a second, if somebody's researching where to move to an area or how to buy a home, I love video, and so I'm going to YouTube. And then I discovered like TubeBuddy and vidIQ and some of these other programs that gave me the ability to see what people were searching for. And so again, the light bulb starts going off. It's like, wait a second, if I know what they're searching for, and I know it's on this platform, and I can get as early in that process as possible and start building that relationship, well, the sky can be the limit. And so it was literally like, hey, I'm new to real estate. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Why not? I like video and I like making these. Let's give it a shot. And it all came together. Like, it was bizarre that, and I shouldn't say immediately. It was probably 6 months before I got my first lead, but I started getting views, and I started getting traction, and I started getting comments, and and again, the whole time I was thinking, like, I just want to be in front of the customer at their very, very the earliest stage possible that they're searching for something. I want to be the guy. And that's where it took off.
It's amazing. So I want to unpack that because there's two things, Anthony, that you said that you and I are so aligned on. And one is that, you want to be as early on in the prospect's journey as possible, because a lot of people, when they think about, okay, I want to make videos, and you see the videos realtors are making, they'll make videos. This is a great example. They'll make videos of, okay, now that you've accepted an offer, what's next? And they don't think to themselves, well, if they've accepted an offer, they're already working with a realtor. It's
You're
like,
way
man, you
late in the
miss
process.
way late in the process.
You're too
So
late to the game at that point.
you're too late to the game. So those aren't the right videos. And then the other thing you said is for most realtors is for them to understand that YouTube is in fact a search engine. They
Owned by
think
Google. Google owns it.
that's right.
It's
And
the second largest platform out there. Yeah.
exactly right. And you and I saying this, maybe the audience is like, yeah, what is the big deal, guys? Why do you keep saying that? Because with realtors, this whole, and it's not wrong, but this mindset around build a personal brand, build a personal brand. Well, that comes later on YouTube. YouTube is all about search. It's all about traffic. It's all about the viewer. It's not about the realtor. And so there are other ways to build a personal brand. YouTube, what you just said, is exactly what is real. And that is there are tools. It is a search engine. No one can debate that. The viewer is already there looking for certain things. To succeed on YouTube, you must make content for the viewer, not for your own ego. Would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. You know, the other thing you said in there, and what I really love about the personal brand, you can kill two birds with one stone.
That's right.
Like, you know, make the video, and the number of times that I've gotten calls, and this is what I love about YouTube, and it makes me even more comfortable making the videos because the number of times I've got calls from people, hey man, saw you on YouTube, love it. I know you got a dog named Duke. I know you live near this mountain. I know you're doing this. I've already eliminated this whole interview process. Like
That's right.
I have created my brand just by being myself on the video and just by, this personality. And the other thing I see, and that's what I'd warn realtors about, don't try to clean it up. Don't try to be so professional. Just be you. Be this guy right here. This is the guy you're going to get when I go show you homes. It's
right.
me. I'm a little high energy. I'm a little spaz, but I do this. But they know me. And, and the beautiful thing about that is I also get clients that are just like me. And I love that too, is they connect with my personality. They're kind of a spaz too. They like to have a good time. They like to live life. And there's a connection there in that video that you're not even trying to do, but as long as you're yourself and you're creating the right content, you get the person, you get the client, and you've created your brand, and they like you, and they want to talk to you. An example, the last couple of months, I did 3 videos, not super consistent, but of those 3 videos, I got 5 leads. 3 of them responded to me with a pre-qual letter in the email. It was, and I laughed at my wife. I was like, is it that easy? Like, is it really? Like, they sent me the pre-qual letter. I don't have to go on an interview. They want to set up a search. They're coming to town in 2 weeks. I'm their guy. And we're off looking at homes. And it's
amazing.
I've created a personal brand. I've created a relationship. I've created content. They know I'm a smart guy, or they assume that I'm a smart guy because of the content I'm putting out there. I've checked so many boxes, and we're off and running, and I can close a deal within a month. Like, it can happen that fast. It's incredible.
Well, it is incredible. And I call it the power of the screen, and it's like you make content and then you allow the world to attract your tribe, because it's like when you make a piece of content, you really don't have any choice in who likes it, who doesn't. And, we talk a lot about detaching from the outcome. Just make the damn video and you will attract likes track, right? So like, dude, you make videos, you're going to attract your tribe. Yep. And quite frankly, to prove that point, it's how you and I met. It's how you got into my world was through YouTube, right?
And I looked at a bunch of coaches, and I was like, Brandon's got my personality. He's kind of high energy. He's super knowledgeable. Immediately there was a connection, and I interviewed some other guys, and I kept coming back to yours. It's the same with my clients. Same thing.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's get a little bit tactical so that the audience can really understand this process. And so we talked about making videos that are as early on in the process for people as possible. And the reason for that is that's when the viewer is searching things on Google and YouTube, right? So you think about moving to Atlanta, Georgia, they go right to the computer, they start searching. So can you give us an idea of some of the videos that you're finding that are working the best when it comes to lead generation and getting the phone to ring?
And let me say something about what you just said there. In that terms of the earliest in the process, one of the things I learned in consulting is that even when somebody is not even close to moving to an area, let's say they're looking at Dallas and Atlanta and LA and Chicago, they're all going and searching. They're all maybe they start Google, but most of them start at YouTube because they want to see the area. They want to see the downtown. They want to see the suburbs. They want to see it. So again, I can't stress enough that importance of getting in front of them early on, and that impact that it has on a consumer when you come in there. But then, to your other part of your question, the videos that have the most track. Actually, my most watched video is my sloppiest video. I cringe every time I watch it.
Isn't it crazy? I know.
It's stupid. Like I go in there and I can't believe somebody would watch that and not turn it off and go, "What's this clown doing? He doesn't know what he's doing." And it has like 60,000 views. Now, granted, some of the other big channel, that's nothing for them, but for me, 4 years in real estate, to create a video where I was literally sitting in this spot right here, and it was top 5 suburbs of Atlanta. And it was literally my favorite suburbs. It had nothing to do with anything. I had some metrics in there. I mean, there's some stuff that backed up my stuff, but these are the areas the restaurants that I like, the neighborhoods that I like. Top 5 videos. I think that one's got 50 or 60,000 views on there. There was another one that things that I wish I knew moving to. That one, I think the thumbnail really helped. But the ones that get the most views are about my area. It has nothing to do with real estate.
That's right.
Best suburbs, best neighborhoods, things to do, places to go. When people are trying to learn about an area, they don't care about the real estate process. That's why they hire me. That's my job to take care of that. They want to know, what is the best school in North Atlanta? Where are the best suburbs in South Atlanta? What's it like being in downtown? And I literally just have it here around me, my GoPro, and I just go out there and I start talking. And so to answer your question, it's all about the area. It's what somebody would know about, what they would want to know about a new area that they don't know about yet. And if they have small kids, they want to know about the schools. If they're concerned about safety, they want to know about that. I had a video that really took off that I said, it's the worst places to live in Atlanta.
That's right.
And nothing more than just metrics. Here's the crime rates, here's the income, all of that. So it's those type of videos that really get traction.
Yeah. And that's been my absolutely. That's been my experience too, because it's all about living in the area. We call that, to get really tactical, and we're going to talk more about this in our YouTube workshop, but there's 2 types of content. There is what we call top of funnel content. This is highly searchable content. This is what people are curious about when they think about, do I want to live in this area? What is it like to live in that area? What are the pros and cons of living in this area? What are the most desirable neighborhoods? What are the schools? What is the safety rating? What are the worst areas? What do you get for $400,000? These are all high top of funnel content. Then, to get super tactical, what we can do once people are in our world is we can start to make bottom of funnel content. So as an example for the audience, we can share something like this. So in Atlanta, Georgia, you could start off making a lot of content around what it's like to live in Atlanta, Georgia, all the things we just talked about. Then what I like to do is every 6th or 7th video, like the 80-20 split, 20% of the videos I like to make what we call bottom of funnel content. This is specific and closer to a real estate transaction in Atlanta, right? So 6 mistakes home sellers make in Atlanta. Because I already have an audience. This is after you've built an audience. This is for the audience, right? Yeah. But after you have an audience and your videos are getting traction, you can start to sprinkle in some of this bottom of funnel content that gets a lot of leads, a lot less views strategically, because it's not searchable content. This is what we call YouTube recommended content. And they're recommending these videos to the audience that you've built. And these are videos that are highly targeted to generating buyer and seller traffic. Have you done any of that yet? Or is that something we're going to start doing?
I'm glad you're talking about this, because this is a question that I have for you and I want to get into the workshop. I have this, maybe it's a misconception. I've heard from other people, hey, if you're going to go down this path of this genre of making stuff about Atlanta, don't switch to real estate. But to your point, it's the bottom of the funnel, so it's a different approach. And you're right. I have a couple of real estate videos. I have one for first-time buyer mistakes. Yep. I forget what the other one is. There's like 2 or 3 in there, but the views just tanked on them. Nothing like my suburbs video. Those just took off and were crazy. And then I would create those, and although I've yet to been able to track a lead back to one of those videos, I'm challenged with that. So I'm super excited that you're bringing that up, and I'm excited about the workshop because I want to know how to do that. It's an area that I haven't ventured off into yet.
Yeah, and there's I think you and I talked about, and maybe we haven't, but like the whole process of conversion on YouTube, how to really increase your viewer to lead generated ratio.
Yep.
What most agents are doing is they're relying, which is fine, they're relying on the viewer to click in that description, get the agent's email and or phone number, and hope that they reach out. And that's fine. And it works. And I think that's what you're doing, right?
Oh yeah. Yep.
There's another process that increases that ratio by 100 times, which is by offering the viewer a what we call a lead magnet. And so you haven't got into that yet, correct?
No.
So just, we don't need to get into the weeds of it yet because we're going to really unpack.
You're not going to get into it on this call? Like, really? You're not going to tell me how to do that?
Well, no, I can tell you how to do it. That's not that. It's not that. It's just I want to keep it simple for the audience to understand the concept. It's not about holding any information back. It's just more or less, getting into the minutia of things. Some people are like, I just don't get it. So high level, it's real simple. The idea of it is this. So we make a video on, hey, 7 top neighborhoods in Atlanta, Georgia for under 300,000. Let's just make an example. Well, that's a high top of funnel video. It's going to get a lot of views, a lot of reach on YouTube. In that video, we can strategically say, okay, this viewer maybe is thinking about moving to Atlanta. They're doing their research, right? What could we offer them that is of high value that they would want as a result of watching this video that would get them into my world for them opting into some type of what we call lead magnet. So if they're watching the 7 best neighborhoods in Atlanta as an example, we could say, okay, well, let's create a free report, Anthony, that we give to that viewer that outlines the best rated restaurants inside of each of these neighborhoods, right? So you unpack the 7 top neighborhoods and you say, hey, I've included a free download. Inside of each of these neighborhoods, there's some phenomenal restaurants. I've included a free PDF beneath this video. Feel free to download it. It will outline the best places to get into. And watch this. I've also included a 25% off on all those top restaurants, and I've already negotiated those for you guys, right? That's an example of what we can do to increase the number of viewers who watch our video who opt into our world. Does that make sense?
Am I allowed to show a screen share on here on this podcast?
Yeah, you can do it.
Let me do this real quick. I want to show you entire screen here, and here.
So let me do something. So this is on Zoom. This is a lot easier, but all right. Now the viewers, now everyone can see it. Go ahead. Yep.
So what you're talking about, I have a virtual assistant that just in the past week, I've instructed to create these local guides for me. What you're looking at here, this is Roswell. This is a suburb north of Atlanta. The historical sites, the distillery that's there, the sports arenas, the wellness, the coffee shop, and the shopping. And it's a 1-page boom that I can put. I think you and I may be on the same page here.
We're 100% on the same page.
Me creating something like this and putting it out there for the Roswell, for the Johns Creek, for the Marietta. And I've given her a list of all my top suburbs, and it's all the top attractions, eatery, landmarks, brewery, those types of things. And fingers crossed, I'm thinking we're going in the same direction, and that may be on the same page.
Yeah, this is going to change your life. We're completely on the same page.
Oh, awesome.
Because
I'm going to need your coaching on how to implement that and everything.
Yeah, we're going to go through all of that. But the thing is, and that's the key thing, is everyone I see, every agent I talk to on YouTube, they're doing well, and they're missing this huge piece in that if you look at the viewer to, okay, you did 25 million. You're doing well. And so your channel, if it's getting 100,000 views a month, well, how many leads are we getting in proportion to the viewers? Right now, maybe, like you said, it's a couple here or there, but in real estate, we only need a couple to make a lot of money. But imagine a world.
Agents all the time. All you need is one. All you need is one video, and it's paid for.
And here's the key thing, though. What you said to me before we started before we hit record is imagine a world where these videos are getting 50, 60,000 views. And, oh, by the way, as a result, you're getting 5,000 leads per video. This is where you can start to scale the business. That's what we see happening, because in a perfect world, you've got a team who's following up on 3,000 or 4,000 leads a day that the YouTube is generating. That's where we're going. Yeah.
And I want to say, if you don't mind, I want to say something else that I think realtors need to get their head around in terms of lead gen for YouTube. In marketing, we call it legs. When you put something out there, it has legs literally forever. Like as long as YouTube is there, your piece of content is working for you. I was in Grand Cayman last year and got calls and emails while I was there from videos that they were watching. There is no mailer that's going to do that. There is no cold calls, not to discount any of those, but there's nothing you're going to put out there that's going to continue to work for you while you're asleep, while you're away, while you're on vacation. To me, that's really a massive piece of YouTube that I think people don't understand, is how it will work for you for years and years and years. And then the more you grow, the more videos you got, the more viewers you get, it's going to exponentially grow at that point, the more you stay on it.
I'm so glad that you brought that up, because that is exactly right. So when we look at lead generation, it isn't a matter of, hey, this is the right way, this is the wrong way. That's not the debate. The debate is what strategically makes sense. And what you said at the beginning of the show is that when you start to have an inbound lead generation system like YouTube, the upside is exactly what you just outlined. It's fully scalable. It's fully evergreen. You make a video, it never calls in sick. It's always doing its job 7 days a week, 365. It's always doing its job, generating opportunities for you. Unlike trading your time for dollars, like doing outbound calling or direct mail or whatever the case may be. But there's pros and cons to each. This is what I teach people. As you're building an inbound lead machine through content marketing, you have outbound lead generation that is more immediate, that generates cash flow. And so you can put both of those, because they both have ups and downs to them, and that's how they work together. This is why we say to people there are 5 lead generation channels. There's unpaid inbound, unpaid outbound, right? Which is what we teach a lot of. Mm-hmm. And then there's referral partners, paid inbound and paid outbound. They all come together, and that's when we see an agent really scales, when they have all 5. And what I'm known for,
I was just going to say, it's part of why I got into your coaching program is the outbound piece. I've been good at the inbound.
Absolutely.
And the inbound's easy for me. Like, I can make videos and then just go to a baseball game and do other stuff. Yeah. And I'm not saying this is the best business model for everybody. I have other stuff going on. I'm trying to have a work-life balance, and it's worked really well. And again, I always take a step back and go, well, look at that year at $15 million. What if I added in outbound? What if I added in my calls? What if I called on expires and FSBOs and did what Brandon is teaching me? Could I be 30 million? Could I be 50 million? And so then I start really thinking about, and again, before I get off thought, I want to say one more thing for all the agents out there that are fearful of getting on camera. I can't do this or can't do that. Nobody's going to like me. I'm fat. I'm ugly. I'm this. I'm that. But I have a friend of mine. I should send you his channel. I have a friend of mine has face tattoos and kills it on YouTube. And the point being, and he says this all the time, there is a community for everybody out there. Like every single personality, every single body type, every single look, you're going to connect with somebody. And in this game, all you need is one. All you need is one to pay for your channel for years. I mean, $1 million. I got $1 million sale from YouTube. That's a $30,000 paycheck for me. That pays for my channel for forever and enables me to just keep going and investing into, video equipment and lighting and different things. So, I would caution the typical realtor out there, don't get in your own head. We are our worst enemies, and we create this image of ourselves. There is somebody out there for everybody.
Yeah, and you bring up another good point, which is the next thing I want to get into in this conversation, in that, I think when it comes to lead generation, if we're being transparent and we're being honest, most people in the business are just searching for the path of least resistance. What do they think is going to be the easiest way that brings me the least amount of pain for the best results? Fine. Now, the thing that people don't understand about creating content and creating videos, it has its own set of challenges, just like outbound. The part about what you said about getting behind the camera, they don't think about that. You hit record, it's like, ooh, geez, this is as uncomfortable as cold calling. Oh, what about being consistent, doing it on a consistent basis when you don't feel like it? The thought of dealing with haters, the insecurity, oh God, they sound so stupid. It's all the same. When we look at outbound and inbound, the emotions are the same. So
Exactly.
walk us through, when you just talked about that, like, and you're right, there's a tribe for everyone, but walk us through some of the struggles in making content consistently. I know you said that before. It's not just easy, right? Like, you wouldn't say to somebody, "Oh, this is just easy." It's a lot of work making videos.
It's super time consuming. That's
Yeah,
the piece that people don't understand is how tedious it is.
I know it.
I joke about it. For every 10-minute video I put out there, there's probably 6 hours of footage that I have eliminated or gone through. Or
let me jump in real quick so I don't forget that, and then I'll digress. What you guys? What Anthony just said is so true. Like, I release 7 videos a week on YouTube now, and people have no idea how much work. I just got done shooting a video before this that's going to get released later this week, whatever. And I got home from the gym, and I'm still, before I hit record, I have 4 hours in this one video. I haven't even hit record yet, and people have no clue like how much work it goes into it. But anyway, go ahead.
Well, it's a great point, and it's an easy way to talk yourself out of it too.
That's right.
I don't have 4 hours. I don't have the time to do this. But again, and I always go back to the agents, my new guys that are coming on my team, and I tell them, like, keep in mind, let's say you invest 4 days, 4 full days. Guess how long that video is going to work for you?
That's right. Forever.
Like forever. So your time invested, and I always talk about the ROI, your ROI on your time invested and everything. And like, oh, I can't do this. But can you? Like, think about it. Like, that one video. I have 60,000 views on a video. Who knows how many leads I'm going to get from that? Who knows how many closes I'm going to get from that? Was that worth my 4 hours? Absolutely worth it. So it's easy to get in your own head about, and us as realtors, we're spazzes. Like, we're ADD. We're all over the place. The call comes in, the email comes in, this comes. If you can block that time off, and this is the area that I need work on. I'm the first to admit it. With other businesses outside of real estate and a family and other responsibilities, time blocking becomes a challenge. But if you can get that piece down, I know you talk about this in your coaching, and those that aren't part of Brandon's coaching, you got to get part of it, because you talk about a time schedule in there early on that is so valuable, of how to create that time to set it aside and dive in. And again, I continually go back to, it almost doesn't matter how long it takes me to do that. If anybody's familiar with Mr. Beast, go watch Mr. Beast.
That's right.
And the time and money he invested there, it doesn't matter to him. The quality video, the content, because that stuff's going to work for you for years and years. And, one of the things that helped me early on, for those that are afraid of being on camera, was I was doing Facebook stories and Instagram stories. And it was just a practice of turning the camera, hearing my voice, seeing my face, getting used. And I think people, they talk themselves out of it for that. I don't like the way I look on camera. Right. I don't like the way I sound. You just haven't done it enough. Like, you're not comfortable with it, because once you do it enough, and you stop caring almost, and you recognize the power and the value of just being you on there. And so the little stories, they would help me, because they're only on for 24 hours and they're gone, and I don't have to deal with them after that. But that little practice, but it was a big thing for me, is getting comfortable on the video and accepting that I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to stumble through here, and what people really care about when they're watching your videos. And it's not any of the stuff that you care about. None of it.
Yeah. Well, here's what's so ironic about what you just, the last 3 minutes of you just talking. If somebody, here's what's so ironic. This might hit you. This might land with you too. If people didn't know, they just tuned into that last 3 minutes, and they didn't know we were talking about YouTube, they would have thought you were talking about outbound prospecting. They're the same. Here's what you said. Time blocking, feel uncomfortable, not liking the sound of my voice, feeling stupid, stumbling over my words, all of this. My point is, for anybody who thinks, oh, inbound lead generation, that seems sexier, that seems easier, I'm going to go and do that. It is not easier. That is my point. It's the same emotions with picking up the phone and calling a stranger than it is hitting record on the back of that camera. And then it's the same insecurities. It's the same process.
When I get on the phone with somebody, what am I going to say? Am I going to stumble over where
exactly. I sound stupid, cringy. Oh, it's the same.
It's the same. You're exactly right. It's the same challenges, just on a different platform. It's the same stuff.
Same emotions.
Same emotions. Yeah. But again, and I know you preach a lot of outbound lead gen. The inbound, though, to me is the value in it. And again, I think about that legs again, the legs of that
Oh,
piece.
there's
How
no
long it's
doubt.
going to be
There's no doubt.
so powerful.
There's no doubt that from a leverage standpoint, there's probably nothing better on the planet
Yep.
than making content on the YouTube platform.
And I'm hoping you get into this in the workshop. The other piece that I would like to get into and learn more about is how to not only put it out on the platform, but how do I use that content in other places, in a newsletter, in an email
That's right.
letter, chop it up into reels. Do I make it into shorts? Do I, I have this long form content, but YouTube's only one piece of where I can use it. You can actually use that in so many different ways. I'm not there yet. I want to learn how to do it. And I see guys like Gary Vee or some of these other big producers out there that they talk about this, and I know there's tremendous leverage in that.
Oh, there's no
other places.
There's no doubt, making if we can get an agent to make one long form piece of content or one video on YouTube, that absolutely we leverage that content into the weekly email or the weekly newsletter, right? We use it in our monthly direct mail pieces to the database and our past clients. We cut it up into short form. You probably have 8 or 10 short forms in there for reels every single day of the week. Then we use them as our YouTube shorts, right? For one piece of content. We use it for we can use it for our weekly Facebook Live show. That is another database-driven conversion process when we upload all of our emails into Facebook custom audience. You know how to do that. And we're making those videos, the topic of those videos serve multi-channel marketing with one piece of long-form content. And then, oh, by the way, putting it on podcast so that most realtors don't have a podcast. And I'm like, why are we not extracting the audio on podcasts? Because these podcast platforms are the analytics on them. I'm talking about audience. The audience on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. The numbers are insane. There's a lot of humans that like that content better than video content.
What would you say about, and I know blogging, the text blogging is starting to get a little bit outdated, maybe because we're moving more towards podcasts and other stuff. Is there still an arena for that? And
absolutely.
Can you take your video into text and then just put that into a blog and use that as a different stream as well?
Yeah, 100%. And so we see there being a massive opportunity for blogging, because the way in which you do it now, when we focus on highly searchable content, think about all the research you go through with TubeBuddy and vidIQ. Well, we do the same thing with the blog, because here's why. They will rank. If you search anything on Google, what's ranking are the questions on blogs. Mm-hmm. So if you were to Google right now.
More so than video? You say more so than video?
Well, on Google specifically than YouTube, right? So if we went to Google, not YouTube, and we said, hey, what are the best neighborhoods in Atlanta, Georgia? Not only can you rank your videos, you can rank a blog. We can take the content from that video you've made, right? Write a 3 or 4 page blog. That thing will rank on the first page of Google in 24 hours.
I'm wondering how to use ChatGPT in this.
Yeah, all of that. Easy. All of it. So anyway, we could go on for a long time. I'm excited. The world of inbound is so great that, if real estate agents can get over this fact of feeling insecure and not putting any weight into their self-worth on, what are people going to think? And I don't like the way I look on camera, all the stuff we talked about today. If they can get past that, the power of the screen is something that you and I both would agree that you don't experience until you do it. And someone calls you and says, oh my gosh, I've been watching all your videos. Thank you so much. And the whole time you're thinking, God, these videos suck, but people love it because they're not behind the camera.
Yep.
They're not doing it. And so what last piece of advice would you give to an agent who says, I want to start making content, but man, that thing just scares me to death?
It's so easier said than done. Everybody just says, well, just do it. Just go do it. That is the piece. That is, if you can set aside all that and just make the content and stop worrying about, and again, much easier said than done, about what people are going to think. I know guys that have channels that have 50 subscribers, 100 subscribers, 200, at the most. I've gone pretty good with mine, but they're getting calls. They're getting one of my buddies, a
Absolutely.
good friend of mine, he's in Indian, and his biggest fear was, I have this accent and I have this look, and you're a white dude and you're this and that's different here. And I'm like, no, create it. He's blown it up. Like it's crazy that he starts getting calls and everything. So the easiest advice is just move forward on it. Put all that aside. Practice on IG stories. Practice on video. Put it out there. It's going to work. It's inevitable. It's going to work. It can only do good for you. It cannot hurt you in any way. It puts your face out there. The more eyeballs that you want on you as an agent is what you want. You want more people looking at you. It's a platform with, I don't know, you probably know the statistical, how many people watch videos per day on YouTube. It's insane. And, in the TubeBuddy piece, in the vidIQ, what I really like is it can tell me what people are searching for and how much they're searching for it.
That's right.
You're already got to step up on them. Like, I know what people are looking for. Now all I got to do is put my face out there and talk about that subject. I don't have to do any more research, nothing. And that's the other thing I would say, and I didn't mention earlier, is I never make a video without knowing what they're looking for. I bet they want to know about blah, blah, blah. No. Get your intel, know what they're looking for. And then I did it with a video, and I'm getting off course here, but one of my videos that really took off recently was living near power lines. I'm an electrical engineer by trade. That's what I did in previous. So I had this knowledge, and I did a search on TubeBuddy one day, and there was a whole bunch of views. What's it like? Is it dangerous? Will I get cancer? Blah, blah. There's my video. And everybody told me, like, nobody's going to watch that. The video's got 15,000 views now.
It's a great topic.
And it's one of my most viewed one. And I get calls on, hey, I'm thinking about buying a home, and there's a power line nearby. What do I do? I even have a affiliate link in there to buy my EMF reader off of Amazon. So there's many different ways you can do it. And it's just, you get put all that stuff aside and recognize the power of this system and how it can work for you forever. And then just go make the video and just get better at it as you make them.
Yeah. And the learning's in the doing, right? It's what we talk about all the time. The learning is in the doing. And the advice you just gave is amazing, which is content marketing is not about what you think. It's about what the viewers want and giving the viewers what they want. And there are tools out there for you to know for sure, without having any doubt whatsoever, this is what the viewers want. And if I give the people what they want, this video will take off on the platform.
It's the same as you coach in measuring your business. Measure your business every day. Make decisions based on metrics and data.
That's right, not emotion.
In your gut, and you're going to kill it every time. And to know what somebody's looking for, that's an easy video. I don't question anything else. I'm making this video. And now I do a little research. I put my outline together. I got my little stuff set up back here, and it's made. And it works. And again, sloppily, I did $15 million. And that's not even with what you're coaching or anything, and I want to get better at it. So pardon me for rambling, but
no, we're both fired up about this, and I'll leave the audience with this. Anthony, I think you would agree, is the opportunity that we have with this platform, YouTube, is unlike anything we've ever had.
Game changer.
Ever. Game changer. Because if you were to ask any realtor, call it 30 years ago, hey, we will put your face on TV 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 for free.
Do it.
Everyone would have said, do it. And the fact that it is free is sometimes, I think, people they're not taking advantage of this opportunity right now. That if they look back and say, wow, I could have got my face in front of millions of people for free, I wish I would have. And that's why I wanted to have you on the show. It's like, don't live with regret. Get the videos out there. Go back. My videos were terrible too, but there's never been an opportunity to get your message in front of so many people for free like there is right now. So
my only regret is I didn't do it sooner. I didn't start
thing.
Soon. That's my biggest regret.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So dude, I love it. Where can people connect with you? Where can they find you? I know I'll put your YouTube channel underneath in the description, but where's the best place for realtors to connect with you? Instagram, Facebook?
Instagram's good. My name, the Anthony Laborde, is on there. On my channel, it's Living in Atlanta. There's a couple other Atlanta sites out there, good channels. You can watch them too, but I'm living in Atlanta. You can put my full name in YouTube. It'll pop me up. But Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all my full name, it'll bring it up every time. And I'd love to connect with anybody. I'd love to help any guys out there that is just getting started as well.
Appreciate you, brother, very much. Thank you for doing the show. And Yeah, I'm sure you've helped out a lot of people already. And like you
You've helped
said,
me tremendously. Just in a few weeks that I've been with you guys, I mean, your program's amazing. Anybody watching this is not part of it, needs to be part of it. You deliver super valuable content every day, and it's. I know you've helped thousands of realtors, and I'm one of them, and I can't thank you enough. Thank you,
appreciate
brother.
you. All
Yeah,
right,
Red.
talk to you soon. Bye bye.
Yep.